By the way, we've assembled legendary mono green Dinosaur Tron. How about that?
Today on Commander Replay, we try to assemble mono green legendary Dinosaur Tron and make ourselves an indestructible legendary god dinosaur. Can we do it? Find out next on Commander Replay. Commander Replay merch, now available in orange and colors beside orange.
Welcome back, everyone. Dinosaur Week continues, and today we're playing the Tarrasque. Let's take a look at this opener. I can cycle into a land. That's not bad. This hand is okay. I think we can keep it. Prefer to cycle this not till later, but if we need the land, we'll cycle it. Ugh, looks like we're going last. Stitcher Supplier coming in for opponent. This is now the fourth game I've tried to film with this deck. Two of those games crashed. There were some technical issues in the other ones, so yeah, it's not been a good time trying to get this commander filmed. And the worst part is there were some cool moments in all of those games that I kind of wanted to show. Hopefully we're able to have some cool moments in this game, but we'll see how things go. The turn order is definitely not in our favor right now. Soul Ring for opponent, don't love that. Brings it to our turn one. There's a Nissa's Pilgrimage. I do like that. Let's play the Opal Palace right here. Opal Palace can be nice for the +1/+1, because if you double the power of this commander, you still need an additional +1 to get one-shot lethal on someone, and that math has actually been pretty relevant. So, got a few little tricks in here, particularly things in the land base that allow us to get +1/+1. Got a Cathedral of War in here, came in handy in one of the previous games. Also, Oren Reef of the Vastwood, reasonable. Opponent attacks Zach Ryan for 1, gets him with the supplier. Haka Whispering Raven coming in, yeah. Zach Ryan said he's playing the Haka side of Alrund, which says it's 2 mana, 2/3 flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand, then scry 2. That's interesting. I don't know what you do with that. There's a Balaged Recovery, helpful card to have around. Play a Forest, not going to cycle yet. I want to try to hold that because the trample is relevant, and until we have more sources of trample, I think it's worth holding onto that. So looking at our commander, reading this card for the 4th time today, as we see a Bajukabog coming in. Tarrasque is a 9 mana 10/10, and as long as it was cast, it has haste and ward 10. Basically hexproof without really calling it hexproof. And whenever it attacks, it fights target creature defending player controls. So it's a fun little deck that runs around. You get a dinosaur that just eats all of your opponent's stuff, and it's pretty entertaining. I wouldn't say it's a good deck, but it's a reasonable deck. It requires a ton of ramp, and if your opponents do blow it up, recasting it is a nightmare. But running around with a 10/10 that's fairly difficult to kill and just eating everything, it's a good time. Been having fun with it. Opponent's going to cast their commander, put this Kakusho back on top of their deck. No big deal. Someone else is probably going to have to, I think it was in Game 3, I got an Ugin into play, and that cleaned up a lot of problems from opponent's deck. Right now, we don't have those type of answers in our hand. You never really know what's going to happen when you cast an Apex Devastator. That could be anything. I mean, we could hit 5 ramp spells for all we know, but opponent going on the attack, they're going to swing into fish. I do like that they put the cast clause on this card, because obviously there's a lot of ways to cheat things into play in Commander, and you don't get the benefits if you do that. And I think that's a really nice touch, considering how big and powerful the card is. Because if you could just reanimate this thing on turn 2, I mean, it's basically unkillable. Haka, back to play after scrying. And gets a Jace's Archivist. I'd prefer that didn't go off, to be completely honest with you. I kind of like what's in our hand. Fish is going to Swords the Runo. That's good. That'll slow down the Runo. That's a Narset. Well, that's a reason that you don't activate the Jace's Archivist. I assume some creatures might attack into... Can't draw more than 1 card. Okay, yeah. So, based on some comments I made in the first Dinosaur Week video with Gishap this past week, Zach Ryan was saying, I was looking at the largest creatures in the game, and they really are mostly Eldrazi. He said Tarrasque held its own in that ranking, though. Yeah, it's not too bad. There are only a small handful of things bigger than the Tarrasque. Off the top of my head, I think almost all of the legendary Eldrazi, probably like maybe 2 to 3 non-legendary Eldrazi. What's that card, like Cloud Scraper or something like that? Got a couple weird things like that, and... yeah, maybe there's 1 or 2 others I can think of without doing a gatherer search. Anyway, we draw land, play the Nissa's Pilgrimage, get more lands. I love Nissa's Pilgrimage. It's Cultivate and Kodama's Reach number 3, more or less. Doesn't fix your colors in the same way, but, you know, for mono green or like 2-color green, pretty solid. Could be a little rough in 3-color green, though I do sometimes run it in those decks. Solemn Lacrim for opponent, sure. Stitcher Supplier into the Narset. Yeah, we should probably try to get that Narset out of play. No one likes a Narset. Sending both into the Narset. Really wants the Narset out of here, but they did tap the Archivist, so in theory, should at least be 1 more turn before the Archivist gets activated. Oh, he sent that one into the face, yep. So it returns again. Oh, he sent this one into Flintlock, I think. Yeah, that seems right. And he's going to scry 2 more. Yeah, love it. Burnished Heart. Thopter Spy Network is a magic card. Harmonize is also a magic card, but we're definitely on the Sky Shroud plan right here. Play a forest, play the Sky Shroud, get 2 forests. Anything to do with 3, we can cast a Balaged Recovery. We could do that and get back the Sky Shroud. That's really not the worst thing I've ever heard of. I think I'm going to do that because, I mean, eventually he's going to activate this Jace's Archivist. So right now, since we don't have anything else we can do, we're not really losing anything if that Archivist happens. The only situation where we would lose something is if they never actually activate that Archivist. And then we just lose the ability to have the Balaged Recovery later. But I think for our sake, we need to keep the ramp going because our commander is unbelievably expensive. 9 mana. We're on 7 right now. This would actually get us there for the following turn.
The dinosaurs' hip structures would allow them to dominate the planet for as long as they did. They were able to move around much more efficiently than animals of the era, many of which had sprawling legs like a crocodile. Dinosaurs are divided into 2 main categories, which are ornithischians and saurischians, aka bird-hipped and lizard-hipped. More on this later. Let's take a look at what our opponents are playing today. Sergeant Flintlock piloting Runo Stromkirk, a commander that I've now seen 4 times today. He's played this in every game I've tried to film with the Tarrasque. And yeah, he's got some interesting card choices in the deck. Some interesting creatures that I had never really thought about. Saw this guy earlier, Baleful Beholder. I'm kind of surprised that they put enchantment removal on an ETB creature like that. Like, that's not my favorite thing in black. I do feel like colors should still have some kind of weaknesses about them. I like that several colors struggle to deal with enchantments. The fact that, like, they keep printing these black enchantment removal cards means that, like, black is going to have almost no weaknesses. So, don't love that. But some cool choices in his deck nonetheless. We see a Whisper coming into play. There's a Merfolk Looter. You know, someone might want to think about a board wipe right there. I have a little more than usual in our deck, but it's still not a crazy high amount. I probably need to get Azuri's Predation in here. Really cool card. I just ran out of room for big dumb stuff like this Apex Devastator. Gravenlore. Scry X, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this, then draw 3 cards. Cool. Opponent saying double Sky Shroud is nice. Yeah, it is. Opponent casts a Rhystic Study. Has not activated the Archivist yet. Hopefully we can get to our turn before they do that. I would like to get this Sky Shroud claim off. Man, the stuff in our hand is so good, though. Apex Devastator and Bane of Progress. Opponent gets to make a Thopter. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Blackblade Reforged. Always a fun card. We're going to play the Forest. Play the Sky Shroud claim. We're on 8 mana. What does that Bane of Progress kill? It gets rid of a Rhystic Study. Gets rid of the Thopter thing. We're going to wait one more turn before we do that. Actually, I think we could do it after the thingy here. Not paying. Yeah, we've got 6 mana left, so the things we could do are Blackblade Reforged Harmonize, or just go for this Bane of Progress. Man, it's going to set Fish back really far if we do. I think I'm going to do it, though. The Rhystic Study is a little scary to me. Bane of Progress. Solemn dies, draws a card. Fish loses a Mana Rock and the Thopter Spy Network. Mana Rock over here as well. Our mana is like roughly double our opponent's. More than triple Fish's. Opponent loots with the Merfolk Looter. Runo back to play. Yep. Creature from the graveyard back on top. It's going to be an Icebreaker Kraken. Enters the battlefield. Artifacts and something. Creatures don't untap for an opponent. Seems pretty brutal. We are 4 lands ahead of the turn count. That's a really good spot to be, especially this early in the game. There's a Nykthos for opponent. That can make you a lot of mana. That probably needs to go in this deck, honestly. Future Sight. Oh, that's a disgusting card. Someone blink our Bane of Progress. That thing is so nasty. Luckily, they've got a land on top. He passes leaving mana up, which is never a good thing with a blue deck. If he still has untapped mana when it comes to our turn, which I think he might, just because Fish has, like, no... Fish is so far behind on lands. There's a Hana Ship's Navigator. They miss another land drop. Brings us back to our turn. That is a Rishkar's Expertise. I'm going to try the Apex Devastator right here, because opponent might be holding up counter magic, and this gets around counter spells better than either our commander or the Rishkar's Expertise. There's very few counter spells that would stop all this Cascade. Summary Dismissal is probably the only one I can think of. We get 4 Cascade triggers. We'll cast a Haunted Cloak. Return of the Wild Speaker. Yeah, we'll draw some cards. Wonder if he activates the Jace's Archivist now that we're going to have a lot of cards in hand. Zach Ryan says, I don't know what's worse. This, Zendikar Resurgent, or Runo Flipping. Yeah, they're all kind of bad. We draw a bunch of things. We've got Momentous Fall.
So our first trigger was actually Zendikar Resurgent, and I accidentally autoed through that one, which sucks. That's a pretty big loss, honestly. We're not going to use the Momentous Fall. We've already drawn a lot. We're going to have to discard a lot, and we would just be fueling this Jace's Archivist more, so not a fan of any of that. Let's get the War Room into play in case of a wheel, in case things go wrong. Let's get the Shadow Spear out of our hand for the same reason. I'm going to swing into Flintlock. They probably just block with this thing. Yep. And then they'll activate Whisper to get some other stuff. Yeah, that all seems like a thing. They get their Solemn back. Seems fine. We do need to discard a hand size. Opponent did not activate the Jace's Archivist before that happened. Get rid of the Forest, the Landscape, the Harmonize, and I think we can get rid of this thing now. That's a Kakusho. Yeah, that's a thing. He did have a counter spell. Yep, we played around it. Nice. Kakusho to the graveyard. It is a Runo deck, though. Runo does get things back very easily. There's a Mortuary Mire. And that'll put it right back on top. And get Runo to be flipped for next turn. Yep, those are all things. He could activate the Archivist to mess that play up and put him into a blind situation on top of the library. Bounce spell on top of his deck. Don't love that. He's going to bounce our Apex. Oh, he's probably going to wheel it away. Yeah, that would make sense. He's got a Mana Crypt on top. Ugh. Mana Crypt? Yep. Yeah, Future Sight is a crazy card. Like, it roughly equates to draw 2 to 4 cards every turn, probably. Something like that. Oh, yeah, and they can scry with their commander. Yeah, that's a good little combo right there. Just keep playing stuff. Ugin's Insight going to scry X and then draw 3. Ethereal Usher on top of their deck. I don't think they have enough mana for that. Colossal Plow for Fish. That's actually helpful. That can get her some extra mana that she's badly needing. I did ask Zach if he's going to wheel our Devastator to do it in a way that Fish can have some lands. So there's the Jace's Archivist trigger. We have 8 cards in hand, so everyone gets 8 cards. Yeah, there's some stuff. Apex Altasaur. That one hasn't shown up in the previous 3 games that I've played with this deck. Tireless Tracker, pretty good. Shared Summons, also pretty good. There's a land for Fish. Still a ways behind. The Blackstaff of Waterdeep. Got a Druidic Satchel on top. We did catch this Praetor's Council, which I do think means that we want to try to kill this Jace's Archivist because we don't want to wheel any more than we already have. Brings back to our turn. There's an Nylea, also a solid card. Play the Ancient Tomb. Play the Thran Dynamo. I'm going to try our commander right here. Hope it doesn't get countered. It probably will. I'm also going to try it with the Opal Palace. Try to get the +1 on there. It resolved. Nice. Get the Shadow Spear on. Go to combat. This thing doesn't have trample, so I think I'm just going to hold it back, but we'll send this into Zach Ryan, get rid of that Jace's Archivist. Also, so I figured this out earlier. Not that it's that hard to figure out, but when this thing fights, if you put lifelink on it, you gain a ton of life. So, Dinosaur eats Vidalcan Wizard. Rawr. No. Jace's Archivist goes down. He takes a shot for 12 commander, goes to 26. We're up to a very healthy 62. Like I said, you gain a lot of life with lifelink in this deck. Probably need to get a Basilisk Collar in here also. Death Touch lifelink also seems really good. I think that Runo... No, he did activate the Archivist at some point, so... blind flip on the Runo right here. Let's see if they hit. Nope. That's a Kakusho. Yeah. Those are good. There were some moments in the previous games where our Dinosaur got to eat some dragons. I would like to eat another dragon with our Dinosaur. Fish lost a lot of removal with that wheel. Imprison in the Moon, Reality Shift, and 2 mechs. 3? Yeah, 3 vehicles right there. But I think she needs the lands more than anything. Plus she's got Hana, so she can get something back once she actually gets some mana production. There is a centuries-old debate about whether dinosaurs were warm-blooded or cold-blooded. However, a new paper was recently published where they studied the molecular markers of dinosaur femur bones to determine their oxygen consumption and then compared that to modern living animals. What they found is that the bird-hipped dinosaurs had high metabolic rates, suggesting that they were warm or even hot-blooded, while the lizard-hipped dinosaurs had much slower metabolic rates, suggesting that they were cold-blooded and relied on their environment for some amount of thermal regulation. As crazy as this deck is, like, you can ramp and draw almost infinitely in green, it's still not that quick, right? It's turn 8. We could kill our first player next turn if we attack Zach Ryan and he had no interaction. I'll probably send it over to Flintlock. try to kill the Kakusho. It doesn't kill particularly quickly, but the things that it does can be interpreted as scary because you are ramping and drawing a lot. And it is difficult to interact with, right? Like, it's mostly board wipes that have gotten this thing. At this point, it would take multiple Fleshbag Marauders or, like, bounce this thing and then a Fleshbag Marauder, something like that. But Dreamscape Artist is a card. Good for blue Reanimator decks. Apex Allosaur is a really cool dinosaur. I'm going to be releasing a short this week. The short might come out before this video. One of the coolest plays I've ever made involved this card, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Opponent's going to transmute the Ethereal Usher. Shows a Dowsing Dagger on top. They grab Flow of Ideas? Oh, God. Thran Dynamo into Flow of Ideas. Ugh, Temporal Mastery. Disgusting. This isn't going to be good. Yeah, he's going to send 2 our way. We're at 62. Can't do much about it. This deck is very soft to flyers. Oh, God, Flood of Tears. Oh, no, not that card. That card's so backbreaking. The only saving grace is that it's a lot of mana, but opponent has a pretty good amount of mana, so I mean, I guess if that happens, as long as they don't wheel, we have the Bane of Progress. We can annihilate everything again and get rid of some problematic things in play. Yep, there's Flood of Tears targeting. Flintlock says no. Love it. Oh, do I ever love that. Does Zach have a counter? Because he is a mono blue deck with a lot of cards and a lot of open mana. Activates the Dreamscape Artist. Maybe trying to get something on top of their deck. That's a creature. The Flood of Tears gets countered. Boy, does that make me happy. That's no love for that card. Got a Druidic Satchel. Activates the Druidic Satchel. Gets himself a 1/1. Casts the Frost Augur. Now as a land on top. And a Solemn Simulacrum. Fish activates the Plow. Oh, God, there's a foil on top of his... Ugh. I told Fish I'd give her a free attack if she wants to send the Plow our way. Here it comes. She'll make triple white mana. No blocks from us. There's a Psy Master Thopterus coming in. There's a Cradle. We'll play the Cradle. Oh, what are we doing this turn? So we made a deal with Flintlock that we wouldn't attack him. Kind of made a deal with Zach Ryan that we wouldn't attack him. Ugh. That leaves only Fish. So I guess what we do is we put the Haunted Cloak on here. I think we're going to have to swing into Fish. The question is, what do we eat? Maybe the Psy, just so we don't get overwhelmed with Thopters. We'll get the Nylea in. We could draw, like, basically the rest of our deck with this. I know we could put the boots on the Nylea, but I'm just going to leave it back as a blocker since there's bunch of little things running around. Send the Bane of Progress at Zach Ryan. Keep working on his life total. We'll send this thing over to Fish just because I politicked myself into a corner and made deals with... Because I didn't want to kill Zach Ryan, right? Because it's still early-ish. It's turn 9. I mean, you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world if we did kill him or tried to. But, you know, just trying to read the room a little bit. That whole thing, so... Against all better judgment, we're going to leave Zach Ryan alive, but work on his life total. I'm going to shoot the Psy Master Thopterist. Dinosaur eats Human Artificer. Rawr. We'll get the Tireless Tracker into play. We can pay the life into the Ancient Tomb because we have gained a lot of life. We're up to 80. This will bring us down to 78. I think I'm going to sit on the shared summons and then go find some more big dumb creatures at the end step. Actually, there's a foil on top. Would he let that resolve? I don't know if he'd let that resolve. Well, I guess we'll find out. We'd probably be better off having the shared summons get countered and then using the Praetor's Council. Trying to bait the counter with it. Opponent's going to bring back a Spark Double. Oh, God. Copy the Kakusho? Yeah, I foresee problems happening here. Yeah, there's 2 Kakushos in play. Luckily, Runo's not in play, so they can't copy it additionally this turn, but still. If a board wipe goes off, that's still a lot of life loss. And a lot of life gain for them. Luckily, we are a deck we can hit pretty hard. This deck does hit really hard. Also, we've got commander damage on the table. This deck is basically mono green Voltron is more or less what it is, along with a lot of fighting. The Tarrasque just eats a lot of stuff. I think it was in the previous video, Flintlock was talking about it, that apparently some people were upset that the Tarrasque is actually smaller in Magic than it really should be, according to the lore. But as a 10/10, there's still only a few creatures that are actually bigger than it in the game. Runo back to play. Yep. Puts Baleful Beholder back on top of the deck. He could go Sacrifice Enchantment with that. Ooh. That would get our Nylea, is what that would do. Would get rid of the Future Sight, though. That's an ad... Oh, no. Oh, no. Our Praetor's Council. No. Yep. They're going to mill themselves. We're going to lose so many good cards. Also turns this into a dead card, basically. Unless our graveyard gets refilled for one reason or another. Opponent said he did that backwards like an idiot. Whoops. Don't know what the other half of that play is. Yeah, 2 Kakushos in our way. We deserve that. We are at 78. And I meant to put a gravity well in the deck, just to be able to handle flyers a little bit better. Might do that after the game. Mana Crypt activates the Druidic Satchel. Revealing top card of their library. I think that makes a Saproling. Oh, gains him 2 life. Wins the flip. Raven form on top. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not going to like that. Exile target. Ugh. I have a feeling Nylea's not long for this world. I guess Tireless Tracker is also a decent target too, because this thing just values like crazy. Activates the Dreamscape Artist. That's good. That means they'll shuffle the Raven form. Showing a Finale of Revelation on top. That's a card. Draw X cards. If X is 10 or more, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw X cards, untap 5 lands. You have no max hand size the rest of the game. Well, their graveyard got exiled, so that is significantly less good than it would have been otherwise. Still, drawing many is a thing. Flow of ideas, drawing many more, yep. It is going to be tough to not attack Zach Ryan after this. Goes up to 13 cards in hand, yep. Has no max hand size. He has a foil in hand, so any big play we try to make will get countered. Alrund coming in. +1/+1 for each card in your hand, and each foretold card. At the beginning of your end step, choose a card type, reveal the top 2 cards of your library, put all cards of the chosen type, reveal this way into your hand, the rest on the bottom. Okay, I see what he's doing. So it's draw a lot of cards and fool around with the top of your library. It's pretty interesting. That's a commander's plate. That's bad. That means we can't just eat his commander here. Yep, gonna equip the commander's plate. Alright. Man, I really want this dinosaur to eat this god. Oh, that would be such a flavor win. We gotta find some artifact removal, though. It's not impossible to do that, but... we could get a Rex Sage is what we can do, if he lets the shared summons resolve, which I doubt he will. End step trigger for Alrund. Basically everything in his hand's revealed because of the Future Sight. So, Reality Shift, Feast and Famine, Thought Vessel... Hearth and Home. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. He's got a lot of Ultron stuff in there. Oh, yep. We see the foil. Yep. He's got things. Protection from green is pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. I guess his life total is only 16. We could just try to send multiple big attackers into him. Fish is going to reconfigure. What does this thing do? As long as it's attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Also Future Sight. Gonna send this into the Ashiok. Yeah. It's a 4/4. They get 3 mana. Ashiok goes down, thankfully. Solemn Simulacrum. Gets the land and gets to draw with the low shield, finally. As far as I can tell, just the foil in terms of counter spells. At the end step, we're going to try the shared summons. Fully expected to get countered, though. It resolves. Didn't expect that. What can we get? Galta is fun. Thrasta is fun. I haven't played Thrasta yet. Costs 3 less for each other spell. That's pretty cool. Tramples over planeswalkers. Has hexproof. As long as it entered the battlefield this turn. Also cool. So I think we're going to get Thrasta, and we're going to get... Oh, don't tell me I cut Rex Sage. Oh, I think I cut Rex Sage. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Might have to do the Galta thing then. Yeah, okay. Galta. Then we'll draw with the War Room. I really want our dinosaur to eat that god, though. Oh, you don't even know. Come on, artifact removal off the top. Strip Mine is not that. Strip Mine is helpful against that Reliquary Tower, though, if he survives for some reason. We'll play the Strip Mine. We get to investigate. That's another card draw, is what that is. Crack the Clue. Put a counter on Tracker. Or another Vast Reef. Not what we needed right there. Let's get the Galta. See if this gets countered. Thresta is still a bit. We should cast some more stuff first. Let's get this Sylvan Library. Thresta's only a 7/7. Let's get the boots. Check on the casting cost. Now it's 3. 3 is very reasonable. We'll activate this thing. Do that. Cast Thrasta. Flintlock wants to know where I'm going with all this stuff. Trying to kill Zach. Let's move the Haunted Cloak over to the Galta, I guess. Oh, we should do that. No, we should do that the other way. Whoops. Because this one's already got hexproof. Well, too late now. Yeah, let's go to combat. By the way, we've assembled legendary mono green Dinosaur Tron. How about that? Swing into Zach Ryan. Send it all. The Tarrasque gets to fight something. Let's take down this Frost Augur. Puny human gets eaten by dinosaur. We're probably going to lose something to that Alrun, though. Nope, he's got tricks. He's going to look at the top of his library. If it's a snow card, put it into your hand. Okay. It is, in fact, a land. He said he was 1 mana away from equipping the hammer to hopefully survive this. Good for us. It's good for us. Here comes the Dinosaur Rampage. He's going to block our commander. Yeah. There's almost a question of, like, do you kill Galta instead? Because it's much harder for us to get Galta back. Although, I guess he just loses straight commander damage with that. So, Galta is unblocked. Yeah, let's fire off this Hunter's Insight. Keep up the strip mine, just in case opponent wants to get cute with that Westvale Abbey. Sacrifices a Kakusho. There's a Kakusho trigger. I think he's just trying to leech life. And he can return something. Oh, a duplicate. No. No, not duplicate. Oh, no. Is he going to survive? I hope not. There's 7. Thankfully, he still goes down. Tarrasque back to the command zone. We are wide open. That being the case, might as well equip... That one's bigger. When does this have hexproof? As long as it entered the battlefield this turn, so that'll lose hexproof. Yeah, put this on there. This on here. Oh, we're going to have to wait on that one. Okay. And then we'll move the boots over to the Bane of Progress. Also, this thing's now a 12-12. It's not great. Runo back to play. Yep. Probably putting Kakusho back on top. Yep, putting Kakusho back on top. Luckily, they only have 2 open mana. Can appreciate that. Kakusho our way. Yep. Stays back with the duplicate. I can get a free shot for 12 in. On the other hand, it does block all of our stuff profitably. I guess we could trample over with the Nylea. That's a thing that we could do. Might have to actually think about that. But really, I just want to get our commander back in play and start eating more stuff. But we've also got this Apex Altasaur to work with. Could really use a mana doubler, but I accidentally squandered the one from earlier with the Cascade trigger. God, we'd probably have already won this game if that Zendikar Resurgent resolved. Because at some point, we would have been able to do all the things we've done and cast this Praetor's Council, get all those cards back that we had, and I just don't know if there's any real winning through that for our opponents. Fish is going to activate the Mishra's Factory, sure. Going to send it our way. Yeah, we're wide open. Fish going to send a few our way, yeah. And the Sad Bot. Is this a board wipe? Casts a Research Thief, has Flash Flying. Whenever an artifact you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Yeah, that seems good. Gonna draw some cards with that. You know, there is something to say that the duplicate might be safer in play, because if it's in their graveyard, they probably just do more shenanigans to get it out. So I'm thinking Apex Altasaur this turn. Fish goes up to 11 cards. There's a Reliquary Tower. Won't have to discard. Jace the Mind Sculptor is not a friendly card. Do we get bounced? Yes. Returning to Thrasta, that's the one that's probably easiest to get back to play, thankfully. If we cast a couple spells, although I guess we only have one spell we really can cast, it'll drive the cost down on that pretty quickly. We do have a Sylvan Library trigger coming up. Yeah, we're probably just going to draw the max right here, because we've got life gain. Tyrite Sanctum. Oh, we can make an Indestructible God Dinosaur. Oh, I really want to do that. Sylvan Library. Jace is really bad for our Indestructible God Dinosaur. Use the library. Pay the life. Pay the life. Oh, we need extra land plays. Need to get some of that going in this deck. Get Orin of the Vast Reef. Orin Reef of the Vast Wood. I've definitely been saying that wrong all game. Cast the Apex Altasaur. Use the Ancient Tomb. It comes in. It fights. Let's take down the Whisper. Do they sack it in response to prevent the myriad of triggers going off with Enrage? They play a Deadly Rollick is what they do. Which means we're gonna use this thing so that we can clear their board out. Are we gonna do that? What are we gonna fight? Yeah, we'll choose the Whisper again. Hopefully he doesn't fizzle this. Flintlock says these free spells are blanked. I feel bad playing them. Yeah, Deadly Rollick is very strong. Oh, he's gonna fizzle it. Yep. Alright. Well, let's see. He might not sacrifice it. No, he does. Definitely does. Yep. Oh, God. Gets the Icebreaker cracking. Enters the battlefield. Artifacts and creatures target opponent controls don't untap. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's scary. Can we get damage on this thing somehow? Doesn't look like it. Deadly Rollick is going to exile our Apex Altasaur. Both fight triggers fizzle. Yeah, I should have fought Fish's thing first and then did all that and gone for the other stuff later. That's down to 3 mana. So I guess we go Thrasta. No, let's go Somberwald first, then Thrasta. Oh, God, I used all of our green mana. Oh, my God, I'm an idiot. Oh, wait, I have an idea. Lightning Greaves over here. Tap this thing for triple green. Move the boots back over here. Now cast this Thrasta. One floating, can't do much with it. No more creatures we can cast. Don't have good attacks into Flintlock. So what we can do is just swing into the Jace with this thing because it has Vigilance. Oh, I meant to pump the Thrasta with this thing. Well, I guess we couldn't. It would have been weird. The mana would have been weird to make that happen. Jace goes down. Move the boots again. Equip the Shadow Spear. And then move the boots back. Wow, he flips it. Oh, that's not good. Kakusho on top. Yep. Yeah, here it comes. Oh, my God. Does he go for... He's going to go for Duplicate. Yep. So we're going to get annihilated, is what's going to happen. He's going to copy the duplicate. Was that twice? Exiling the Nylea. Yep. Well, we can block the 6/6 and kill it and gain a bunch of life right here. Up to 36 and then down to 36 after damage with our life gain. Wow, leaves all of his mana open. Oh, that's terrifying. That is terrifying. Mishra's Factory. Fish sees the problem, sending attacks over to Flintlock. Flintlock actually has more life than us now, after all the Kakusho tricks. Fish is going to block one. I'm going to strip mine this Westvale Abbey right now. We've been holding up priority, and I'm kind of playing slow. We're down to 32 minutes on the clock, so just we can play a little quicker if we tap out here. Research Thief, going to draw 4 more cards. Yeah, I was going to try to fight that thing down. I wish I chose that as the target. Fish up to 13 cards. Still a little bit hamstrung on her mana. Has a little bit to work with now. Seagate Restoration, more card draw. Equal to the number of cards in your hand. Wow. Ooh. Sort of makes Fish the problem. I mean, both players are problems. This is the Triangle of Death. Yeah, it's not great. Does Fish have a max hand size? No, there's a Reliquary Tower. Yeah, that's not good. So the problem is that, like, if we can't deal with this duplicate somehow, that's obviously going to get us killed. Fish is taking a shot with our commanders, so she does have some toughness worth of blocking, and I don't know that we can actually get our commander over the hump to be lethal without some big pickups here, but... Fire Shrieker is a magic card that may actually be able to get us over the hump. Sylvan Library. Yeah, just pay the life. Keep all these. Nature's Claim is helpful against that duplicate. Play the Tyrite Sanctum. Almost positive we don't have enough mana to do all this, but... how much is this guy? That 11? Ooh. Might just barely be able to get the Fire Shrieker on there. What's this Nylea do? Less good than the last one. Yeah, cast our commander. And yeah, we're 1... Oh, nope. It's only 5. It does have haste. It doesn't have trample. This is probably a situation where we don't want to upset the status quo. Send these both into Flintlock. Ah, crap, I forgot to move the Taunted Cloak. Well, that's a lot of life gain that we're not going to get back. Fight the Icebreaker Kraken. Dinosaur eats Snow Kraken. Rawr. That goes down. Opponent's at 36 and 10 commander. And we'll pass like that. Sit on the Nature's Claim and the Tyrite Sanctum. End-Step Rift. Please don't be End-Step Rift. It is an End-Step Hullbreaker Horror. That's also disgusting. What's this thing say? Ugh. Turn target spell? Well, our spell's 1 mana, so they would need a lot of cards to do that, but they're going to go with the Hullbreak. Oh, God. Yeah, that's not good either. Oh, God, that's going to be so much bounce. Wow, 2 of them? Jesus. Maybe we should have went after the commander. I mean, Fish has a lot of cards to work with, so... Yeah, she's got to throw some blockers in front. That is quite a bit of damage. 3 our way in the air. Can't do much with it. Fish losing Hana and Padim. Ravenous Chupacabra. Can definitely take down our Thrasta. I don't know if they need to go after something of Fish's or not. Gonna return our Shadow Spear. That's not ideal. Gonna return the Boots. Also not ideal. And our Thran Dynamo. This thing has Ward 10. More or less hexproof. They don't have the mana to be able to pay that, so... Boots get bounced. Shadow Spear gets bounced. Ravenous Chupacabra on the Thrasta. Thrasta gonna go down. Okay, he taps out for 1 more spell. That's gonna be Kakusho. Returns the Lochiel. Uh-oh. The Reality Chip and our Haunted Cloak. Yeah, we do need that. Kakusho's in. End step, we're gonna Nature's Claim the Duplicant. Duplicant down. Flintlock says this is removal check .deck. Yeah, I see why. March of the Otherworldly Light X8. Wow. Gets rid of the original Hullbreaker Horror. There's still 2 left, though. Kotori Pilot Prodigy. Yep. Gonna crew the thing. Mech Titan Core. They're gonna do the thing with Mech Titan Core. Create a legendary 10/10 construct with Flying, Haste, Lifelink, Trample, and Vigilance. Oh my god. The Omen Keel. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, player exiles that many cards from the top of their library. Okay, they're tapped out, which is good. Make this thing a god, or put the what's the first mode? First mode is target legendary creature becomes a god and gets a +1/+1 counter. Legendary Dinosaur God. Now we just need to make it indestructible. I don't know that we'll be able to do that this turn. Our mana's a little tight after getting bounced into oblivion. Return to Nature is probably helpful to have around. Is this thing an artifact? It is in fact an artifact, yeah, so that's very helpful to have around. Use the Sylvan Library. We got a Scavenging Ooze and a Ronas. Yeah, just draw them all. Down to 25. Get the Shadow Spear. Get Thran Dynamo. Pay the life. This can pump too. That's also relevant. Equip the Shadow Spear to our commander. Notably, that can give Trample also. Get the Fire Shrieker. Oh, it's already got Trample. So we've got Lifelink, Trample, Haste, and now Double Strike. That should be plenty. This thing's got flying, so we can't block it anyway. Yeah, I feel good about that. Let's go to combat. Actually, before we go to combat, we can cast this and just get the Ronas in, just in case things go wrong. Now, go to combat. Try to take Flintlock out of the game here. Send this thing at Flintlock. Dinosaur eats dragon. We got there. Wasn't sure if it was going to happen this game. Got to do it, I think, in all the other games, because someone was playing dragons in those games. Kakusho trigger. Burns everyone. If they block, we would actually get both hits on the double strike. They're going to block. Nice. So we're going to gain a lot more life because of that. 20 commander damage, up to 42 life. And down they go. 32 commander damage. Finally getting them out of the game. They were causing some problems for us. Tapped us down, exiled a lot of our cool dinosaurs. Disappointing. This takes a bit of mana. Yeah, we'll just sit on that. Sit on that and return to nature. Back to a nice healthy 54. This thing not being the commander, we can take a few hits from it before it's a problem. I'm more so worried about the 18 cards in her hand. That's the scarier bit. Flintlock, having now played 4 games against the Tarrasque today, said I'm going to need to get the deck list from you after the game because he's got a whole new appreciation for the Tarrasque. Yeah, it's a fun little card. Big dinosaur eats stuff. That's a Foundry Inspector. Yeah, good card. And Fish is starting to recover mana-wise, so that can get some things done. There's a Deadeye Quartermaster. Sure, I'm not going to like that. Another target non-artifact becomes a 4/4 creature. Okay. There is something to say about the fact that, your opponents basically can't hit your commander with spot removal. That is very helpful. Opponent crews this thing. It's got lifelink and vigilance. Yeah, they're going to send both. We can block that, right? Block with the Ronas? We go down to 44. Reckoner Bankbuster. Prodigy Prototype. And a Goldmere. End step. You know what we're doing. Put an Indestructible counter on target god. We now have an Indestructible Legendary Dinosaur God. Mission accomplished. There's a Beast Within in case we need more removal. Yeah, just keep the cards coming with the Sylvan Library. We keep gaining life at such a crazy rate that doesn't make sense to not draw them all. Pay for. Drop in the land. I actually don't know that we need to do that much else. We should probably play the Haunted Cloak just so we have the Vigilance. But I think this should be lethal. She's already got 12 on her. Got the Ronas, we can pump more if we need to. Yeah. Send in the Dinosaur. Eat this 10/10 thing. Dinosaur eats Mech Titan. Yeah. Mech Titan down. When it leaves the battlefield, return all exile cards with Mech Titan core. Gonna crew. Yeah, they can block. I think the double strike's still gonna get us there, though. And if not, yeah, we can still pump with Ronas. That's exactly 12. Oh, it's actually less than 12. Yep, we better pump this thing then. Ronas again. And one more for good measure. There's 15 trample. Down they go. Our dinosaur got to eat some cool stuff this game. We had a Mech Titan core. We got to eat a dragon. There are a couple smaller things that are less exciting in there, but the Mech Titan core is exciting. Fish revealing the hand. Jingataxis. Yeah, there's some stuff. There is some stuff. So, again, this is the 4th game that I've played with this today. This deck, I don't want to call it good, but it's not bad in a battle cruiser setting. Just being big, hard to kill, and eating all of your opponent's stuff is pretty good. But you do need to ramp like crazy. There's like 19 pieces of ramp in this deck just to be able to get to this thing. And opponents will perceive your ramping and drawing as threatening, even though it's not, like, that took us 13 turns, right? And I think we could have killed Zach Ryan a turn sooner, but it's not a fast deck by any means. That being said, it's a very fun deck, and I've actually had a pretty good time with it. There are a lot of decks that I probably would have just given up if I had to film them 4 times in one day. So I did find that enjoyable. We did get to assemble Mono Green Legendary Dinosaur Tron. It's pretty exciting. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.